Hello and welcome, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well out there. We are here doing a first impressions, sort of like a review right now. So, Gotham Knights. Do you want to play it or do you not want to play it? That is the question. So, to buy or not to buy? That has always been the question that we all have as gamers. The issue is that Gotham Knights is sort of like um, giving up the capability of what a single player game is to playing co-op. And I feel like a lot of the mishaps that the game has, it just feels lost. But, for example, the game is well when it comes to, content. The issue is that a lot of the game mechanics are lost. Like, for example, Batman's scanning system in the other Batman games, like Batman Arkham, is a bit far superior to the scanning system that we have currently in Gotham Knights. And a lot of the performance, for example, is lost because they have to have the code for multiplayer in the game. And I feel like it was rushed. The game was pretty much rushed. So should you buy this game? Now, I heard that on the console side, you don't get 60 FPS. On the PC side, I do get 60 FPS. The issue with this is that it doesn't always hit 60. It's very weird because all the older games, all the Batman games, it was able to hit 60 fairly easily. Like when it first came out, no, obviously, but it's like a 7-year-old engine, and this is the same engine that they use for the Batman Arkham games. Now, the Batman Arkham games, with rain and everything like that, the fidelity of the game, it was far smoother. But with this game, it's not as smooth. Like the water in the old game is insane, right? And then you had the Batmobile. So there is going to be a lot of gives and takes, but at the same time, this game is worth your money. Depending on who you are as the player, who do you want to be as a character? Do you want to play as Batman all the time, or do you want to play as a new character? So that's the kind of thing that this game shows you to wanting to be. Sort of like, if this or if that. This feels weird that way, doesn't it? So, there is these boxes that you get that have cash, so you have to do some kind of like puzzle. For example, I will give you an example here. Should you buy this game? I'm not sure. It really depends on you. Do you like it for console or do you like it for PC? I'd recommend
Nightwing recognized.
So to get all this stuff, the cash, they give you like a gimmicky kind of system. This is gimmicky. And if you screw up, well, you screw up. And sometimes the...
Verification failed. Please repeat the sequence.
Yeah, so you repeat the sequence. So much fun. Really? Well, it's kind of lame, right? The controls for the game on PC is pretty bad. It feels like a console motion. Like they didn't make the game smooth enough. Like in the other Batman games, it didn't feel this
Nightwing identified.
Bad. And it doesn't feel like you run fast enough. As well.
Identity confirmed. Cache location sent to AR device.
So that's how you do these. And then you get a little bit of a like collection of data and maybe even a story in the background. Let's see. Under collections, you get logs, and every time you get a cache further down the road in the story, then you got to get all those caches so then you can continue with the main, like the side quest stories, right? Or the collections. Then there's these little missions here to get extra stuff. And with that, obviously the game progresses over time. So the further you finish a map, the next map will come up after you're done with the main quest. And then the map changes. And these kind of missions are...
Check that out! Shot! You gonna tap out?
They pop up sometimes. Once you're done with the entire map, pretty much you're done with the map, and then you could go back to the Belfry, or you could go back to the main mission. So it is not like in the other Batman games where it's done by main bosses and stuff like that and side bosses. This is more like side bosses and main bosses, but then technically the map is like a side boss, like a mini side quest line, and you got to finish all of them, and that's all you got to do. And then when the main quest comes up, that's when it clears the map, and then the next area is to be had, to go to. So that is the key difference between the other Batman games. I haven't played the other Batman games in a while, but I know that this system is entirely different. So you have your level. For example, you've got your gear, your level gear. Your crafting gear is what you can craft. So basically, you go throughout the entire map, and you defeat a boss, or you defeat mini bosses, and they're with a bunch of goons with them. And then they drop items at the same time. All the mobs drop items. And then those items help you craft. The same thing with the loot boxes, those special quest missions that you do, side quests that have a loot box. It feels a lot more MMO-ish. Obviously it's not an MMO, but it feels more MMO-ish than a Batman game. Like a cooperative game. So basically they designed it to be a console game with cooperative design, so you could play 2 players throughout the entire game. Actually, you could really play 2 players with the entire game, and then they're gonna have special type of gameplay that is not co-op, like main story co-op. Like 4 players, and I don't know what that's gonna be like, and I think that's coming out soon. And then you just keep on going to do the challenges to get those loot boxes, and those loot boxes help you progress for your crafting. And then also within side missions, like story mission, It explains, like collections and stuff like that, help you, understand some of the backstory for the game. And you can craft pretty much anything at the Belfry. I think you can only craft at the Belfry. I might be wrong. No, you can craft even when you're not at the Belfry, which is your main home base. And that is here. This is the Belfry. But if you go to the Belfry, you erase everything, I believe. Yep. It will end your patrol, and then all unresolved crimes will be removed from your map. So it's basically the map is a leveling system itself, which in the other Batman games, I don't believe they had this specific feature, or not really a feature. It's actually weird, but you can collect faction presence and stuff like that throughout the thing. Obviously, you got financial district, but yeah, obviously you don't want to skip all that, so you don't go to the Belfry. Do not go to the Belfry unless everything is completed. All this stuff is complete. Well, this is the drone thing to get the special drone that allows you to move. This is a main little side story quest. So then you get the gear with, obviously crafting stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Should you buy the game though? We'll talk about 3 main key points. Number 1, performance. You always want to have good performance in a game. You have to understand that the games that come out today are not the same games that come out a long time ago, when a game is mostly polished or at least 90% completed, and then they come out with expansions to give you data to play more story content, and expansions you paid for back in the day. Now it's more like a service, so it's like a hybrid system for a single player game nowadays, and they're not making any money off of you other than the money that you initially pay for to buy the game. So that is one key difference between the before and after releases. So this is more like a game as a service, and it feels like they rushed the game. Now, I did pay for the game, and I do like the Batman games, but it feels like the story is a little bit weak. So Batman dies, and then you have to play with the other characters to build up with the story, and something does happen at the end, which I haven't gotten to, but I've seen YouTube videos, obviously. So what you do in the game is just build up story, secondary stories, and you finish all them, then you're done. Then you level up your character, but then you also level up the map. So every time you complete the map and all the side quests and the main stories, then you go to the Belfry, and they do a little bit of hand holding, but you still go to the Belfry, and then the entire map is wiped and done and completed, and then you go continue to the story, and then the map changes all over again and changes within difficulty. So every time you finish the main quests within that segment of the map, before going to the Belfry or before continuing with the main story, then the entire map changes again. And that's pretty much how this game is designed. The other trick is, when you're doing gear, try to go after mods that help your character fight off. Like, see, there's mods here in these sections here, like 8 and 9. So you earn mods throughout the entire game. Now, depending on your like let's say suit, it'll show under suit the one that you have. So this is this the one that I have? Doesn't even show the one that you have. Oh yeah, loadout. Okay, loadout. Under loadout suit, it shows these two. And then the more mods you have, so you suit. Then you've got melee, and then you got ranged. Obviously, you can optimize your character and add a new mod the further you go into the game. So I don't have... Alright. Pretty much I'm gonna do it like that, even though they're... Sometimes, you know... Sometimes... Alright. Oh, there you go. So, if you have mods capable of adding mods to your suit, or capable of adding mods to your melee weapons, or capable of adding mods to your range, you can add them. But obviously, I don't have mod capability here. Oh, I might. No. Here, yes, I do have it here. So I go here to mods, I go to melee, and I select something like this, and I say I want a mod here. So it changes it and allows you to add a mod there. Now if I go to craft, was it ranged? A melee, if you craft this, you can use this. Of course. Melee.
Shit, this is serious.
Ranged. Some of them don't even have mods. So you just have to see what you want. I don't know what happened. And then you can obviously dismantle. Feels a little weird because on PC you gotta press Z and then you gotta press enter, so it's like so many darn buttons. Just be easier to say yes, no. And there's different kinds of crafting you can do, but the further you go into the game, I guess it just changes out and gives you better loot. Obviously I'm level 10 and this is level 9. But there goes the crafting. Then there is challenges. In the challenges, you've got these challenges that you can complete, and that's throughout the map. So you can do those. Then knighthood is a training thing, so you got to do the training stuff to finish your knighthood, and then you get your ability tab, which I haven't touched it in a little bit. But knighthood, after you do all the training, you hit the after you're done with all the training simulation stuff, you get this, and then you work on this, and then that upgrades your knighthood. What else? Database. This is obviously information stuff. But the computer, there's a little thing here. profiles, the Bat family, Alfred. And you could play all these characters, you know. You could play as her, you could play as him, you could play as him, and well, Bruce Wayne. Too bad you can't play as Bruce Wayne. But there's that. Maybe in DLC, who knows? Who knows? Then you've got, obviously, Gotham. You can go on, and then collections. I like this one, actually. This one looks cool. So does that one. That's a little bit freaky, but cool. And you got other collections as well. And then Bruce's
log entry BT66.
And then emails. All this is training. Stop crimes. And then it explains about the specific things, and you could probably get these specific items to do crafting. So it gives you like a objective kind of thing for crafting. Profiles. Alright, everything's up there. Challenges. Case files. So this is basically your journal. And then the map. I'm gonna say one other thing about the game. The map feels a little bit underwhelming. It is very, it's not like in Batman Gotham Knights, not Batman Gotham Knights, it's not like Batman Arkham Knight, where the world is, you know, like, how do I say this? There's an issue with the map where it is not as flushed out as the Batman games previously. Like, it doesn't go to a point where you can sneak all the time. Sometimes there's mission areas that are just terribly designed where you're always cornered, and you don't have like the special tools like in Batman where you can throw a smoke bomb and get them confused, or like in I think in some of the old Batman games you can even speak, and then they get confused and then they start walking into that area, and then you snatch them and grab them and sneak and knock them out. None of that is in here, so there's that. So it's not like a true Batman game where the stealth mechanics are in. So there's one other downside to this game. Now there is a level entry, I would say, sneaking system in the game, but some characters do have different capability. So I believe Robin is more tech and can do sneak attacks way better than all the other characters, and I think their skill system in the game can do that. Like their ability system can allow you to sneak better, but it feels very washy-washy, if you know what I mean, because it's not like in the old games where you can sneak all the time, and the maps are not that great. Like the location of Gotham in this game is far less superior than all the other Batman games combined. This Gotham is very limited in scope in map gameplay. So there's that. Now I'm sure they're gonna change it eventually, and maybe an expansion or something or whatever, and they'll make it better in the future. But as for today, I feel like a lot of the game mechanics for sneaking and doing actual Batman capability in this game does not exist like it used to in the other games. That's number one. Blocking is a very big problem. The only thing you can do is dodge, or perfect dodge, as they would, I guess, perfect evade, but you cannot do blocks. There is no real martial arts in this game like in the other Batman games. This is basically, I would say, Gotham Knights is more bare bone of what Batman was back in like the old, very old games, probably. Similar to a very bare bone game compared to what it is currently today. It feels like they went backwards instead of forwards. Graphics, the same thing, backwards instead of forwards. But I think the graphics is not the biggest problem. I think the issue is that the game wants you to do co-op more than doing single player. It feels that way. And then obviously the controls are off, because on PC it feels like more of a port from console to PC, and it's not a very good idea to do that, because PC is where you do the god of all gods game mechanics, right? You build the game out from the ground up to do PC, capable of raising from PC to console, and then you port it to console, not the other way around, because then that limits the gameplay for PC way too much. On PC, you can design everything, controller, you know, like a regular a console controller, or a PC keyboard, or even a mouse, or any device for that matter, and design it from the ground up from PC, and then help out consoles to play like a console. So why are they limiting that? A lot of the game motions, like, it feels janky. So that's another thing that you have to think about, you know, when you're playing it, when you're controlling your knight or your character. It's very limiting. So that's another problem for the game. Now this will make the game feel a little bit better by doing these things, but if you're playing the game, that's why people are complaining about the game a bit, is because of the limitations that this game has compared to the other Batman games, right? So there's that. Let's see this one. It feels like you're doing only one move though. Like every time you're fighting, it feels like you're only fighting one way. It doesn't feel like, even if you change those abilities, it doesn't feel any different. Let's see if I even play any different. But there goes that. So let's try out. So for example, let's see. Let's do this one. Now the motorcycle. You're not going to be like in the other games, like in Batman games, where you're using the Batmobile and you're blowing stuff up, okay? In this game, very limited. You're only using the you know, this thing. They don't come and attack you. Like, the cops don't come to rush you and attack you. You know what I mean? Like, unless you're in their vicinity, they don't attack you. You know, and I mean vicinity, like very close. You run away, a few seconds later, after you run away, they don't even rush you or run after you. It feels very lame, like you're only going through a corridor of a story, and then that's about it. And a lot of the game, when you're in the story part of the mode, it's very interesting. It can be compelling. The dialogue feels a little bit off, meaning like it feels a little bit rushed and not thought out. But the whole entire motorcycle thing, I'd rather have a Batmobile and blow stuff up and be able to have a, like, for example, the flying, bat. I would like to be able to fly and jump from one part of the map to another with the bat plane. But they don't have those mechanics in this game. There is a capable thing like a bat, like glider, and then they have teleportation for Robin, and they've got jump for what's his name, Red Hood, and they have I'll show those off, and they also have in the next video I will show all the movement capabilities of every class or every character that you're using, and technically each character is an archetype, and within those archetypes, one has a gliding capable drone, the other one has teleportation, but it is kind of limited. Then you've got the other one is like a blind jump, like you're just jumping in the middle of the air kind of thing. It feels very MMO-ish, like childish, with these movement skills. But the only character that has the feel of Batman would be Batwoman, with the gliding capability of the cape. And I'll show them all off, the movement skills, and there will be a part 2 of this review coming next week.
Better you than nothing, I guess.
Known criminals have been spotted in the area.
Heck yeah!
Then you've got bonuses. There is a bonus system in the game that helps you get better bonuses. So when you finish those bonus missions, like a side mini quest within the main like side quest, then you get special bonuses to increase your XP. You increase your capability of getting better loot for that specific mission. That is also a thing.
Brace yourself. Time to party! Keep your peace calm. You don't want anyone coming to play with ours. Yep. Let's get it! Woohoo! Time to party! Everything's right on my end. Gonna be headed out soon. Heck yeah! Love it! I need to see what that was. I ain't busy. Let's go! We gotta find this
then you can scan an enemy and scan them fully, and then the icon will show above them that they're there. And I would recommend doing that whenever you're about to start a mission. You just scan the entire room. It helps you also target and fight off when you're fighting them, to knock them all out, as well, so then you can keep track of your enemy.
Not good. You think hiding is gonna save you?
Also, another thing about the game, if you should buy, the AI are kind of stupid. Like, really stupid.
What's that? Must have been the wind. No need to ask for special treatment.
I got moves for all of you.
Over here! Stand for real!
He's out! Let's go! I'm here! Now come play!
Come out wherever you are!
Dig him up and stop him out!
So the question is, should you buy? Well, normally I would say I would wait until there's a sale. That's what I would say. And it depends on you. So there you go. But me personally, I would wait because there's performance issues. Sometimes I get even 1 FPS, and that means that the frames are so bad that I can't even move and I instantly die. Sometimes when I try to do a jump and try to get out of the way, I get, stuck, and then I instantly die. So sometimes the game can be a little bit frustrating to even play. There was one point where when I first started to play the game, when the game first came out, all I had was 0 FPS, and then automatically the game froze and disconnected entirely, and I couldn't even play. And this happened multiple times. They did patch it, they did fix it. The game, for what it is, it's decent, it's okay, but I was expecting more in 2022. I was expecting far more after they've had how many Gotham games? This game, it went from, it used, all the Gotham games was at like an 8 or a 9. They needed some improvement, but this game went from an 8 or a 9 to a 6 or a 7. And they went 5 steps back with making this game. But I feel like it's a different game, a different company that made the game. Obviously, it's a different game. Obviously, they added the co-op system. So the co-op system is flawed. They also kind of like made an excuse for Batman to die. In my book, that was a stupid move, the way they made Batman die. But you can watch that. We do have day one videos on that as well. So stay tuned for more, though. We're going to be posting more content for Gotham Knights, so stay tuned for that as well. Just hit the subscribe button. Consider hitting the subscribe button. It helps us very much, and we very much appreciate it. And also, it lets YouTube know and get it out to more people. It will publish it out to more people. So please make sure to subscribe and like the video. It's 100% free for you all. And also comment down below and let me know what knight would you like to play. Batgirl, you've got Nightwing, you've got Robin, and you've got Red Hood. Too bad you can't play Batman, but you got all those 4, so why not? 3 things that I would say they need to fix heavily and right away is blocking. They need to fix blocking. They need to have a blocking mechanic in the game. Okay? They just have to. Because this game, I'm pressing spacebar to just evade. Come on now, you gotta block. Also, the mechanics are a little bit janky. So when I'm moving, it feels janky. It feels like it's it doesn't have a smooth motion. Like in the other Gotham games, there's no smooth motion when you're fighting. In this game and the other Gotham games, you do have a smooth motion. The mechanic for the Gotham Knights is okay. It's not the best. It's not the greatest. but it's okay, flat okay. The FPS issue is a big issue. When there's a bunch of police, a GCPD coming at you, the game clocks and goes insanely crazy. Like when they rush you and a bunch of them start to come after you, that's when my FPS tanked. When I was fighting just like a bunch of bad guys, and then out of nowhere the GCPD came out of nowhere because there was like bad guys very close to that location where the police were, or the GCPD. So the game tanked and I couldn't even move. I died. And this happened 3 times already. The FPS went down to 1 and it was unplayable. So there is a blocker in this game, and that is one of the blockers. Number 3, I would say, so number 1 was, the jankiness of the game, right? Number 2, it doesn't feel like a Batman game. Number 3, it feels very low in the map system. The maps. It feels like the level area feels a little bit less than the other Gotham games. That you can't be like a shadow in the night and cloak and use special gear like in the other Batman games to get yourself out of all the situations. It's like, yeah, the AI can be stupid, but the issue with that is that we don't want to play stupid AI. We don't want to play against stupid AI. I would say for now, wait until there's a sale, and then go buy. That's what I recommend. And this is review number 1. Review number 2 comes soon, where I get to play a different character and get to show you the skills of the other characters. So stay tuned for that. That'll come up on Monday. So thank you for watching, and enjoy your night and have a great weekend. Until next time.